So many times we get called out to a home and the filter has not been changed in a long time and it's causing that system to not cool properly. Patrick Summers, President and CEO, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Listen, I want to talk to you now that we're getting into the hotter months, the summertime, on 3 things you can do to fix your air conditioner before calling a contractor. Many times we get out to a home and find that it's a simple fix. So before calling a contractor, check these 3 things. Number 1, check your thermostat. Thermostats many times have battery power. The batteries die, thermostat goes blank. Pull that thing off the wall, check, replace the batteries. That could be it. Also, we commonly find issues with somebody putting the programming into a different setting, whether it's a guest or another family member, or sometimes the homeowner themselves. So check the programming, make sure that the settings are correct, make sure that it's within the range that the air conditioning is going to come on. Also, check to make sure that the fan is in the auto position. And if your fan keeps running and won't shut off, make sure that it's in the auto position and not in the on position. Additionally, make sure that you have the thermostat set and isn't being overridden by somebody else's smartphone or tablet for Wi-Fi connection. All of those things could cause your thermostat to prevent your system from operating. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to check out the breaker. Go outside and check your breaker. If the breakers are tripped, attempt to reset the breaker. If the breaker does not reset, do not force it. There's a reason it's not resetting. Now, keep in mind you have 2 breakers. You have one breaker, which is for your condenser, which is the outdoor unit. You have another breaker, which is for the indoor unit, which is either a heat pump air handler or a furnace with a blower motor in it. That moves the air through your home. That is what's controlled on the fan setting on your thermostat. So check those things out, see if your breaker's tripped, all right? If those are not the issue and your system is running, it's just not cooling properly, go ahead and check the filter. So many times we get called out to a home and the filter has not been changed in a long time and it's causing that system to not cool properly. Especially if you have a 1-inch filter that you bought from a big box retailer that's labeled high efficiency or for allergies or allergens. Those ones especially, they are incredibly restrictive to your system and can wreak havoc on it. So change that filter and see if the system starts to cool properly, all right? Those are the top 3 things that we encounter when we get called out to a home where the air conditioning system is not operating fully, or not cooling as it should. Now, last thing I'm going to tell you is if you live in a high humidity area or an area that has high humidity days, maybe like in Southern California, not a lot of humidity, but we do get days that reach high humidity. In those days, your system is going to take longer to cool down. It has to pull the moisture out of the air. It's what we call latent heat. So your system has to pull all of the latent heat out of the air before it can even drop the temperature, which we call sensible heat. So if it's extra humid, give your system a little extra time. It's going to take a little bit longer to start bringing the temperature down. How you can tell if it's doing its job is go outside, find your condensate line, and look to see if water's dripping out of it. If you've got a lot of water dripping out of that condensate line, it's pulling the moisture out of the air. Now, on the topic of condensate lines, here's what I'm going to tell you. You should have 2 condensate lines in your home. In a typical installation, you're going to have one that's close to the ground. That's your main condensate line. The second line is your secondary line. That typically terminates over a window. Why? So you're sitting there watching TV, you can see the condensate dripping over your window. If that is happening, if your condensate is dripping from a line over the window from a second floor, that is your secondary condensate line. That means your primary condensate line is clogged and it's taking the secondary route. You need to get that corrected quickly. You should have a contractor blow that out. You should have a flood switch installed to protect your home in case the secondary backs up. With that said, regarding condensate lines, if you're feeling up to it, if you have to go into a mechanical closet or the attic, depending on where your air conditioning system is located, or a basement, you can attempt to clear it on your own. Sometimes some warm water and vinegar poured into the condensate line will clear it right up. All depends how extensive the blockage is. So hopefully that helps, saves you a little bit of money, saves you some time. If in doubt, call a licensed contractor. If you're in the Southern California, Coachella Valley area, call General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. We're here to help. Heck, if you're outside the area and you got a question, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you regardless of where you reside. Advice is free. So hopefully those can help save you time and money. Listen, at the end of the day, when in doubt, call a professional. Make sure your professional is a licensed contractor with the proper insurance.